Testing, testing, hello? Testing, testing, hello. All right. The audio is working. So is the picture. So welcome, everybody, to my art stream in which I will be drawing Han Solo, as you can see here. I've already made a really rough sketch of Mr. Solo and Chewie. I've got two references here on how they look. And I'm just going to try to make a fun drawing featuring those two characters with an annoying fly in the background. So that's great. So, well, let's just dig in, shall we? This is a really rough sketch, and I'm just going to draw over this and just make a more detailed sketch. I am going to try to make him look like Han Solo. I don't know if I can pull it off, but let's just see what we can do with that. Look. Now, I have not actually seen the movie yet, the new one. I've heard very mixed reviews, but I think I'm just going to wait till it's on Netflix, which I'm sure will be. I'm definitely going to see it because it's Star Wars, but I'm not really a moviegoer, so if anybody in the chat has seen the movie and would like to talk about it, please do, because I've heard some really mixed reviews about it. I have no idea if people like it or not. Sometimes I'll be glancing at the side because I got my laptop here with the chat, which I'll occasionally look to. I might also totally forget, but Running Fox has not seen the movie yet, so. Alright, let's just start. Let's see, this brush, let's put it on black. It's pretty thick. I'm going to put it to, let's say, 20 points. That should be better, right? Right, so let's see if we can try to draw Harrison Ford. Comic style, you know, it's not going to be a really realistic drawing of Mr. Ford, but it's hopefully going to be fun. Now this is just a sketch, just to see what it will look like. There's this really strong jawline. And this is just a rough sketch. I'll be cleaning it up later on. Let's see, his hair is kind of parted down the middle. Let's try to do that as well. Let's give him that big 70s hair he has. Okay, this is maybe too big. Let's make it a little smaller. Just the cool sideburns. Drawing hair is always really difficult. Hello, Praise Voltaro. Welcome back. I believe you have seen the Han Solo movie. So if you want, I would really like to hear your impression of the movie. Always with sketching, you know, I'm just looking for the right way to do it. I might just delete stuff I don't like. This is really just trying to make a really rough drawing. I'm not really happy with the hair yet. I'll look into that. First, let's try to make his body. It is once again really warm in my home office. I should really invest in a fan of some sort. But then again, in Holland, it's always a short period where it's actually warm. Oh, let's see. Praise for Walter says he loved it. It's really cool. Great references, even some obscure ones. Weren't the action? I heard that the action scenes were actually quite long and tended to be a bit boring, but I hope that is not the case. There are all kinds of really exciting noises outside. Not sure if you guys can hear them, but best of the new movies yet. Okay, well that sounds really good. I was not really a huge fan of the new movies. They're fun, they're okay, but they're better than the prequels. But that is not really difficult to do. As you can see here, I'm making him a little bit bigger than the original rough sketch. He has that huge buckle. I'm not sure what's on there. There's a little pouch. And there's a big doohickey. It's probably like a communicator or something. Not really sure. And he has his leg strap for his holster. And he also has the stripes. I think he had these red stripes on his leg, but it could also be from The Empire Strikes Back. I'm not really sure, actually. His vest is a little blocky. Let's see if we can make that a little bit more dynamic. I'll let him fly open. Now the hair does not. I'm gonna redo the hair in just a moment. I'm not happy with that yet. This is all just rough, trying to find a drawing in this mess. And again, I'm really just using one brush, which simulates drawing with a pencil really well. I would be using the default Photoshop brush, but this one just works a lot better. I've tried many different brushes in Photoshop, and this is actually the one I've been using for over 2 years now, and it works really well. It is the Mr. Kyle's it's a Mr. Natural brush from Kyle, which I'm not sure if you can still buy it. I bought it on Gumroad, but I'm not really sure who sold it, unfortunately. It was a guy named Kyle, so. His mouth is too big, way too big. I do want to give him that snarky smile. This is after all Han Solo. And he has these really short sleeves. Must have been the fashion in the 70s. In this stage I do tend to draw really fast. And later on with cleaning it up, I'll make sure all the lines look nice. His blaster, I'm just going to improvise it a little bit. I don't really have a clear picture. I don't want to bore you guys with me searching Google Images for that particular picture. I'm just going to make this a little smaller. There we go. It's a really weird looking gun. It looks kind of like a tiny Mauser used in the Second World War. And they added all kinds of weird science fiction bits to it. But it looks cool. So I had red stripes because he was in the military for becoming a smuggler. So I'll just add stripes. I think there were also yellow stripes involved, but honestly, I don't really know. Is it still canon that he was in the military? Because he used to be. Before all the old canon was stripped, he was, I believe, a Imperial officer who saw the plight of the Wookiees, freed Chewie, and then run off to be a mercenary. Okay, let's redo the hair a little bit because this does not look right. But then again, drawing hair is really difficult. These are the basic shape of the head. Looks a bit better, but I'm going to scooch it over a bit. There we go. That's the beauty of working in Photoshop. You can just do stuff like this. For the watch the new movie. Okay, I am definitely going to watch the new movie, but I think I'll wait till it's on Netflix. because I'm not overtly fond of going to the movies. And that looks a lot better. But, and this is still just a really rough sketch, which we'll clean up in a moment. Just a little bit bigger. Because I do believe the Star Wars movies all come on Netflix pretty fast. But they also go away pretty fast, so you have a really small time frame to actually watch the movie, I believe. Now he only has one belt, I believe, but it is really big. It might be fun just to give him just a tiny second belt right here, just to fill that space out. And for the oh yes, Running Fox. They I think Rogue One is on Netflix right now. I saw The Force Awakens on Netflix, and I'm not really sure. I probably think that The Last Jedi will be on Netflix fairly soon. But only for a short time, I believe. Any details in the vest, but I assume you might have like a pouch here, maybe a little thing over here. So for the people watching who back me on Kickstarter, I am actually now literally waiting for the Kickstarter money. Everything that needs to be sent up to the printer is standing by. The book is done, the posters are finalized, everything is done. I saw that everyone transferred money to Kickstarter. I only need like 2 people to write down their survey, and then it's done. So it's up to Kickstarter to send me the money, so I can print the books. I really cannot wait to hold it in my hands. It's going to be really cool. Oh, Praise Soldier says, if I'm not mistaken, that's one of the few Disney licenses they actually still have. Yeah, I did hear that Disney will also be coming with their own streaming service, which I'm sure like Amazon has a streaming service, and I'm sure that most companies will come with their own streaming services. So that's going to be quite a hassle if you want to watch something. And I think all the Disney stuff will be removed from Netflix when that is the case. Just adding just some details to the character here. But I think it's actually, these are not right. The head is a bit too big, but I've been doing that a lot lately for some reason, and it looks pretty funny. So let's just keep his head way too big. really like the look of his gun. Drawing hands is always one of the most difficult things to do. With all those nasty fingers. And there we go, a really rough looking Han Solo. Oh wait, maybe his leg. If I look at his leg here, it's really tiny. And yeah, it's just black pants, not really much to it. With the red stripes coming here. You won't see them on this side. I do believe Harrison Ford has this little mark around here, but that, yeah, it's not really, won't be really visible. And always shoots first, right? Wasn't there like a picture of George Lucas wearing a shirt that said Han shot first? Or it was one of his employees who was with George Lucas, he was wearing the shirt. Not really sure, but. I'm not sure laser guns have smoke coming out of them, but why not? Everything looks just a little bit wonky, but that's a rough sketch for it. Right, we have Han Solo. Let's see if we can draw a Wookiee. I literally never have drawn a Wookiee ever. So this will be the very first time, and I'm probably going to screw it up. Let's see, I kind of blocked out the shape of what I think he's going to look like. Let's see what we can do with this. Yeah, it's just a big, weird dog looking thing, but okay. A Wookiee. I do like the shape of his head if it was like this. He has a dog nose. There's this big mustache. Mustache is walrus thing that actually just has a beard, I think. I'm not going to draw the whole beard now because I still need to draw the whole bowcaster in front of it. Well, they have explosions in space, and they even have gravity in space, as seen in The Last Jedi, where they can actually drop bombs, and they just don't float off. No, they just. That was kind of weird. But it was Star Wars anyway, so that looked really cool. I love the B-Wing. It's one of my favorite chips. Let's see, this is a difficult part. This looks a little weird to give him eyes like this. I'm going to do that differently. So let's first just draw his big bushy eyebrows. And I'm running out of room here, so I'm just going to enlarge my canvas a bit. There we go. Also, thing I usually got with drawing on paper is I was really bad at looking how much room I had for my drawings. So I would have to use different kinds of paper, and when I wanted to scan everything in, it was just such a big hassle. Let's see, how are we going to do the eyes? He has, well, his eyes are little dots, so that's a given. But the rest is pretty black, so what if I just try this, and this will be black. I'm just going to do it like this for a moment, and then with the brush, makes him a bit evil looking. Maybe I need to and now he looks really sad. Well, let's see if we can either he's looking like an evil villain or he's looking really sad. It's a little weird. He has a big bulbous head, but I'm trying to flatten it a little bit. But it's pretty big. It's a really poor look. Yeah, it looks a little wonky still, but let's see if we can fix that when we ink. Well, like I said, this is the very first time I've ever drawn a Wookiee. I've never also drawn a dog, so maybe if I do it like this, maybe make him a little bit more fierce looking. And that looks a bit better, I think. Okay, now to put his bowcaster. Let's have a look. To do this, I am going to draw it on a new layer because I'll probably have to move it about. Let's see if we can draw a bowcaster. I'm drawing a lot of stuff I've never drawn before, which although is really good because you learn, it's also kind of scary to do it on a live stream with people watching. Let's have a look. His bow goes a bit like this. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. He has pretty tiny arms, but I'm not sure what you're supposed to call these things. Anyone knows, let me know. I have no idea. Probably not arms. Protrusions, that's also not correct. Oh yeah, this was a great idea to draw a Wookiee with all that hair. That's just wonderful. Whose idea was this? Probably mine. It's a good thing I can hide a lot of the Wookiee behind Han Solo here. And he has 2 scopes on it? Or 3? Why does he have 2 scopes on the thing? And a middle thingy. I have no idea. Well, it looks cool. I think they went for that. Does anyone see the new trailer of the new Halloween movie? Because that looked really cool. I have been rewatching all the old Halloween movies. Actually, not because the new movie is coming. I didn't even know that. I just wanted to watch it. But I'm really looking forward to that new Halloween movie with Jamie Lee Curtis. And, well, not Donald Pleasence, of course, because he's dead, but it looks really nice. Back to basics, really. Basically ignoring all the movies except the first one, I think. Which, you know, it's not really necessary. They're fine movies. But it looked really cool. The front of the crossbow is called a limb. Really? Okay. Well, I wasn't too far off with an arm. No, I don't think they're arrows because the thing shoots a laser bolt. It doesn't really shoot actual arrows. Then again, no, I think it just shoots a laser type bolt. Which would probably be the inspiration of the bolt thrower of Warhammer. And the bolt gun, which came after that. I think he is just a bit too big. I think I'm going to select all the parts of the Wookiee, and I'm going to make him a bit more in line with, except this part. Let's make him a little bit slimmer. Oh wait, there we go. Make him a little bit slimmer and just a bit more tiny and taller. Yeah, that looks a bit better. The bowcaster looks a little bit weird still. It has a weird angle. Well, that's why we have the sketch phase, that we can just try some stuff out, see if it works. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with all this hair. Basically, I'm not going to like draw every strand, but I might be able to block it out a little bit. And of course, the rest of the body is just covered in fur, which is great. And he has his bandolier, which is mostly covered by his arms now, but let's draw it anyway to break up the model a bit. I mean the drawing. I believe he is carrying cartridges for his crossbow, but your guess is as good as mine. You could also be having like doggy snacks in there, or hollow tubes to watch his favorite soap operas. I have no idea. I think I will cover this in shadow, this part. And the head is not, I'm not really happy with the head yet. It's the eyes. The eyes are, I think, too big, or the eyes are pretty tiny if I look at my reference. So maybe You can just make it just a bit smaller. Looks a bit better, I think. This is, of course, really rough. I also have no idea if I can finish the whole drawing in one stream, but you know, if I don't, I'll just continue this next week. The vacuum you might be hearing at the moment is my poor little hard drive who's trying to keep cool, but failing miserably, but I hope you won't fail me. Because all my stuff is on there. Oh, I can assume he has combs. I mean, and those rollers to get your hairs out of your clothes. You must be carrying a lot of these just to hand them out to people. Probably that's what they smuggle all the time. Han and Chewie, they smuggle these black market hair rollers just to keep up with the Wookiee hairs. Okay, well here we have a really rough sketch of Han Solo and Chewie. Not perfect yet, but this is just a really rough draft of it. I'm not sure if I should make the whole head more bulbous. It will look more like a Wookiee if I do that. If I maybe remove this. Oh look, this looks way better. Because the shape of his head, I don't want to make it too cone-heady, not too bulbous, but this looks a lot more like a Wookiee. Of course, he has this majestic beard, which I hope to also have one day. There, that looks a little bit more like a Chewie. Thank you, Running Fox. Okay, well now we are removing the rough sketch, and I'm going to lower the opacity of this one to a 10. I'm going to do a new layer, and then we're going to make some neat lines and make it look a lot better. I'm just going to start with Han Solo again. I do like those big cartoon eyes. And even here I am usually still just trying out stuff, but at least now I have a pretty solid base on what I want to do. Sometimes I do need to remember to zoom out. I do like to draw zoomed in pretty much, but sometimes you just need to zoom out to see what the hell you were doing. As I can see here that the left eye needs to go up a bit, which is also easily done in Photoshop. I could actually do a stream where I will be drawing on paper, but I would need a external camera to record that. I have no idea how that should work, but I've seen other people do it on Twitch. That looks pretty good. Even with my inking lines, I do tend to keep it really loose and sketchy. I like how, I just like the look of it, right, basically. So, does anyone know what the next Star Wars movie will be? I actually heard they were doing a Obi-Wan Kenobi movie, but I'm not sure if that one is the next in line of the franchise. I have no idea. I'm worried they're going to make solo movies of every character, and do we really need a Boba Fett solo movie? That was his appeal to me, where he was always in shadow. He didn't really do a lot, but he had a presence, and I don't really want to know what happened. I mean, they already kind of ruined him with the prequels. But I do tend to ignore those movies anyway. I think I need to lower his cheekbone a bit. Oh, and I'm forgetting his really cool sideburns. I was actually trying to do I was thinking of doing the young Han Solo, but me being a really old Star Wars fan, I do prefer the original one. But I'm not sure if they basically look the same. If he has the same costume in his movie. I'm sure he does, because otherwise people wouldn't recognize him. I could also, if I'm going to continue this one next week, I could also maybe draw in Lando. That might be really cool. Also a character I've never drawn before. Oh, this fly is so annoying. I don't know if you guys can hear him, but okay, but what does he look like at the end? Does he just looks like you could just step into A New Hope, or is it like a maybe a little bit updated version? Oh, the fly just flew into a can of Dr. Pepper and is now trapped. Because why not? I usually add shadow when I'm done, but sometimes, I'm just, in case I forget, I'm just going to add shadow now. So his costume is kind of updated. The belt is very recognizable. Love the scene inside Lando's walk-in closet where they're amazed with all his capes. Oh my god, does he have all kinds of capes? I mean, it was a thing he wore in Empire Strikes Back, but does he exclusively wear capes his whole life? I mean, could be, but so there's always a thing that bugged me in that, like in the original movies. Um, Everybody on Tatooine basically is wearing Jedi garb. The brown cloaks, the karate-looking outfits. Of course, Ben Kenobi wore one, but his Uncle Owen also wore one. So it was kind of weird that suddenly that was the outfit of the Jedi. I think it was just because they were living on the desert planet, but it's a nitpick, but still. Yeah, he is the most fashionable guy in the universe. That Lando Calrissian. Perfectly played by the guy who also did the mayor of Gotham in the old Batman movies. Billy D. Williams, I believe. Oh no, wait, sorry, he was Two-Face. He was Harvey Dent. And he was supposed to become Two-Face in the third Batman movie, but it went to Tommy Lee Jones. Okay, I'm just kind of guessing what the gun looks like, as my reference is really bad, and I don't want to look up a new one. I don't even know how that translates when I go and look on Google Google Images. I don't think you guys can see that. But does Billy D. Williams have a small cameo in the movie? Because I mean, he is still around. It would be fun if he'd like meet the young Lando. Or you did not spot him. Ah, that's too bad. Oh. Warwick Davis, really cool. Was he the Ewok, or maybe a different alien or something? Random small guy. Oh, that is really cool. You guys remember Willow? That's a movie I haven't seen since it was originally released, I think. I do have fond memories of it, but I have no idea if it holds up. Look. The shortcut I'm doing, I can just like select an area and just easily fill that area with whatever I want. So that's how I usually do my shading. As long as all the lines connect, I can do that. We'll also save it, because I always forget that. Right, his belt. Let's see if we can make a really cool looking belt. Oh, nobody has seen Willow use. It is a slow movie. I only remember vividly that someone was turning people into goats. That is basically all I can remember of that movie. I really need to rewatch that. Let's see, little gizmo. It's probably a communicator, or maybe his shaving apparatus. Oh, I do believe here he has two belts. He has one here that goes around his waist and one that goes to the holster. That makes a lot of sense actually. Han Solo was always the cool looking guy, but I actually started to appreciate Luke Skywalker just a bit more lately, or some time ago, but he's actually, but when you're young everybody wants to be Han Solo, of course, because he's the cool guy with the ship. And the cool sideburns. I do keep glancing at the screen because last week I had a technical issue where the stream suddenly cut off. And I just also remembered, am I recording this? Let me check. Yes, I am recording this. Okay, good. Because for those who do not know, I also put out my streams on my YouTube channel, which is the same tag as on Twitch. And I also make a time lapse of the drawings I make. So I'll be uploading this during the week. Oh wait, I'm forgetting his stripes. Oh wait, yes, he has the big boots. I'm drawing his pants really wide, but actually he has boots, I believe. His space boots. Bought at the Space Mall. I don't know. Or they're like Imperial standard issue boots. Same here. They look pretty cool, the white 70s pants, but actually he has boots. Always fun if you forget stuff like that in a character, like I did last time drawing my own character, X-Maniac, and I totally forgot that he was wearing gloves. I'm going to redraw his hands just to make it look more curvy. Yeah. All right. We have some. Let's add some shading. I'm still deciding if I should like color his hair black. He has, of course, really dark hair. I'll just save that for last. I'm going to color his vest black. Not completely black, so I can do some highlighting. Here I can easily fill in the black spaces. Let's have a look. I do need to make sure all the lines connect, or they will also be rendered black. And if I want like some more white, I can just switch my brush to a white color. I could use the eraser, but this gives it the same texture. The eraser does not have this brush for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I tend to be a fan of really dark blocks of shadow, which works great in horror comics, but also works when drawing a sci-fi character. So I have, as of yet, not looked at the Twitch channel. I know you can do all kinds of cool stuff with it, and I keep forgetting it. Just look on the options. I could put my Instagram on there. I need to look at how this whole subscriber thing works. If I'm even eligible to that, I have no idea. It's, however, a really busy month for me, so I'll probably forget it a couple of more times. But I'm going to try to keep up streaming, just to see if people are interested in seeing me draw silly stuff. I think the fun part is that I don't really stick to one thing. I might be drawing really cartoonish looking Transformers, to Star Wars characters, to horror guys. And maybe I can stream myself drawing one of my comics. I'm actually doing a commission comic now called Deathless, which is a really cool story. I actually do need to finish up a page, so I could actually do that as a stream. I do need to ask permission to the guy who wants the commission though, because I don't know if he wants people to already see the artwork. If people are interested in that, I'll definitely do a stream of that. I'm just going to continue blacking out all the shadows. So I tend to use a lot of shadow work. And the pants are black anyway, so. Praise Voltor is happy with that idea. Okay, yeah, I think I'll ask the writer if he doesn't mind me showing a page on stream. It does involve nudity though, so I don't know what the policy on of Twitch is with me drawing nudity. I have no idea. If that is a problem, I'll have to check that out. Because I don't want to get banned for drawing boobies on stream. I believe the last page, well, it might not include boobies. I'll have to check. I think just the last panel. So maybe I can show you guys me drawing all the first panels, and then the last panel will have to be a surprise. Yeah, I'm all for it, but I really don't know the policy on Twitch for that. I can't imagine they're not being too overly excited if people start drawing really sexy women, but I don't know. I do, however, now have the correct tags on my Twitch stream because I was looking for categories and I couldn't really find anything except a draw something tag, which I just assumed was the artwork thingy, but someone luckily pointed out that that's actually a game. So all the other streams were really difficult to find. So I'm hoping that people are finding my stream and are enjoying me drawing Han Solo. Yeah, I have not really seen the movie yet, so I really can't really just say anything about it, other than I will be watching it eventually. And I am trying to draw more popular stuff that's more topical, like you got the new Avengers movie, you got Han Solo, and I tend to just draw whatever I want. So last time when we had the event, everybody was drawing Avengers and Captain America. I was drawing one of the aliens from the movie Bad Taste, which people know, but is not really topical. Although it's a lot of fun to draw them, by the way. It kind of looks like he's wearing leather pants now, but Cyclones. I never drawn a Cyclone before. I wasn't a really big Battlestar Galactica fan, really. I did enjoy the newer version of the show. It was basically a reboot, I think. But the old ones, I never really. I watched many episodes, but I was more a Star Trek guy. Still am, though. What I'm gonna try here, I'm going to black out his hair, and then I'll be back with a white brush to get some of the strands back, just to see what it will look like. Problem if it doesn't look good, I'll have to redraw the original hair because my history doesn't go that far. I think it's something you can adjust in your settings, but I never really looked at it. But as he has black hair, I think this will look pretty good. Or at least better. Cyclones. They were pretty cool looking. Better than Daleks, anyway, which were just trash cans. Okay, so I'm now going back with a white brush. And there we go. I think it kind of looks like Harrison Ford. Oh. It does have a big chin, though. It has a Bruce Campbell chin. Make his chin just a little smaller. Not everyone has that big Bruce Campbell chin. Oh, that's also a good idea to draw on the stream. Ash from Evil Dead. One of my favorite movie characters. If not my most favorite movie character. Alright, so here we have the line art. Oh wait, his billowing smoke from his laser blaster. Alright. Let's try Chewie. See if we can get a nice Wookiee out of this mess. It is difficult. It is really difficult to draw a Wookiee. I know that now. Let's see what we can do with this. Well, the nose is not really too difficult. And his really cool looking eyebrows. Thank you, Running Fox and Prince Walter. Just trying out some stuff here to see if it works. Man, is it difficult to draw a Wookiee. I have not actually looked. I tend to not look at how other people draw them, because I do know he's on some like really cartoony, and there is of course a lot of art already for Chewbacca, but I really try to try it myself before and without checking what other people are doing to get a Wookiee drawn. I mean, it's okay to learn from other people, but I do try to do it myself first, and then I'm going to see what other people are doing. It really is the shape of his head, which is a little weird in my version. But I don't really like his really bulbous. I think it looks too big on this character. It looks like a walrus now. Maybe if I align this with his mustache, like so. Of course, he has big canine teeth. have some gums here and there. Okay, well, I'm gonna put him on a different layer than Han Solo because just for the ease of it. Because a lot of lines will cross into Han Solo, and this way I can easily erase them without erasing Han. Oh, my poor hard drive. I can't really shut it down because there are still things running on that drive, so I need it. Oh, this is actually a happy little accent. I think if I keep the lines outside of his head shape, it will look more hairy. So let's try that. His eyes, let's see. Looks a bit cartoony this way, but oh wait, the rest should be black. Oh crap. Let's see what happens if I do this. Okay, yeah. Well, it looks pretty fierce. Huh. Let's just give it a go like this. Shape still bothers me a bit though. It's this one. Ah, there we go. This is starting to look a little bit more like an actual Wookiee. Those hairs though, so many of them. Well, I'm actually pretty happy with this. Okay, Bowcaster. This one is going to be difficult. Getting that perfect line is always difficult. Let's see, it basically, you have a little cylinder here and a guard, I think, okay. Right here. And these little crosshairs. Okay. And on a new layer, I'll make a circle, which normally I can do really well. It's not a perfect circle, but it doesn't need to be. Now that's starting to look like something. Now the other arm, or limb as it was. This is why I usually use different layers. Now I can easily remove this part and fill this in, so it will create more depth. Oh wait, that was not a good idea. There we go. Okay, got the Wookiee here. He is holding the gun right here, so drawing first the worst. Should make like bold Wookiees. The same with the, although I love the character, the Judge Dredd costume is such a hassle to draw. It has so many details and so many things that are really difficult to draw, because he has these really big shoulder pads, all these huge knee guards, and which aren't even practical, but it's really cool looking. But drawing Judge Dredd is like a chore. I can't imagine him drawing for a couple of panels. As you can see, I'm drawing right through his arm here, but I can easily remove these lines. Of course, I could like take this into account, but I do feel that the lines look a little bit more dynamic than if I should draw this part and then draw this part. Okay, that's a lot of lines. Oh, and I'm forgetting the viewfinders or whatever they are. It is one of the most original sci-fi weapons. Oh wait, I suddenly turned on Han Solo. And his bandolier. So yeah, sometimes I just need to check if I'm still in the right layer, because it happened numerous times that I was drawing and suddenly I found that the sketch layer and my ink layer were merged down, so I had to manually erase all the thin pencil lines. That was really annoying. You can try to do that with some Photoshop tools, but you never get the exact same result you want, at least what I have found out in experience. Now this is the base of the bandolier. And now I'm going to draw the cartridges, which are different size. So let's draw a big one here. And a small one here. And now I can easily just remove all the lines I want. We got the cartridges. And I'll do the same thing with the straps. And of course, add lots and lots of shadow. I'm just flattening out some really big shadows, but I can easily go in with my white brush just to get some texture back on his fur. The same I do here with the black brush. And it's all basically the same brush. But of all the brushes I tested, this one just works so nicely. It has, I'm not sure how they do it, but like the ratio of thickness and thin works like really well. Like this is 20 points, but I can also do these really thin lines if I want to. I'm not saying other brushes don't do this, but for some reason this one works best for me. Don't want the beard to touch his lip. Well, it actually looks like a Wookiee. What do you know? I'm going to add some more shading to him. Just different parts. Just to get some more depth in him. I'm actually happy that I'm able to make him look a little bit fierce instead of just either sad or maniacal. Although I'm sure there are like evil Wookiees out there. I mean, I'm sure someone in the extended universe made an evil Wookiee somewhere. It would actually be really scary. second. Also want to do something about this arm. This has way too many lines, so I'm going to block some of them out with some shadow. I do keep glancing, but it appears that the stream is going without a hitch this time. It was really weird, where my internet was just operational, but suddenly I was not streaming. I must say that I also have the most basic understanding of OBS, which I use to stream. I have this setup where you can see me and you can see Photoshop, but I have not really looked into the because you can do a lot with that program. It's really cool. Make different scenes, but I have a pretty basic setup where I use the webcam of my iMac. And I don't have any external recording microphones yet. I am thinking of buying one, so I'll have to look into which one works best. That will improve the sound significantly. So. I will continue the stream next week where I will be coloring Han Solo and Chewie. So I've been streaming now for an hour and a half. So thanks everybody. Oh, last week it stopped after exactly 1 hour. Okay. But anyway, thanks everybody for hanging in there. I hope you did enjoy it. I'm getting near the end of finishing up Chewie. I'm just adding some shading because it was just a big block of oh wait, no, all right. Okay, if I remove the sketch layer, it looks actually pretty content with how the Wookiee is looking. We could add some more detail to the bowcaster. This is a little boring. And there we go. One Wookiee and one smuggler. I think it turned out okay. Yes, I will be back next week where I will be coloring in this drawing. And I think I will, for my very next drawing, I think I'll put up a poll somewhere. Maybe I can do it on Twitch. I don't know. Or I'll put it on Instagram. So you can also follow me on Instagram on Zombieburger80. And we'll see what we'll draw next. I have lots of ideas actually. So yeah, thank you for watching. And see you next time.